Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about capacitors and the combination of capacitors. So, in that we have discussed only one type of combination, that is series combination. Now, we are going to discuss about parallel combination of capacitors. See, you should not confuse in examination also. There is a lot of difference between a parallel plate capacitor and a parallel combination. A parallel plate capacitor is a single capacitor. Here, parallel combination of capacitor means we are connecting the capacitors in parallel. So don't get confused. They will ask that they have the expression for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor or two capacitors in parallel. If they mention two capacitors or three capacitors, you should remember that we should connect in parallel combination. Because I have seen lot of times most of the students has done a mistake regarding this question. Now let us see what is parallel combination of capacitor. What is series combination? As we already said that one end is connected to another end, means the second plate of first capacitor is connected to first plate of second capacitor. If you go on move on connecting in this one, that is called what ma? Series combination. In series combination we found that which is constant. Charge is constant and potential will varies. Let us see what are the variable in this parallel combination. See here, parallel combination is all plates of one nature. Means for example, all positive plates are connected to one end and negative plates are connected to another end. So here also I am considering three capacitors. See, all are connected, right? And this connection is given to battery. So you should not confuse. If two parallel capacitors are equal size is represented, that is called what? Capacitor. And if they are represented like this is what? Battery. So this is positive, this is negative, this is capacitor. Okay, in representation you should not do mistake that. Now give the name for each capacitor: C1, C2, C3. Now charge comes here, right? After coming here, what happened? The charge should to be distributed throughout these three plates of capacitor. So the charge on first plate is what? Q1, Q2 and Q3. So the charges on the capacitors varies now. What about the potential? The amount of work done to bring them from here to here, here to here, here to here. It remains same, right? So what is constant ma? Potential is constant, whereas charge will varies. So just opposite of series combination. In series combination, what is constant? Charge is constant, potential will varies. Here, charge varies, potential constant. So in parallel combination of capacitors, what is constant? What is constant? Charge, right? Charge is constant, whereas potential varies. Is it right? So, sorry. Charge constant are here? No. Charge varies, whereas potential is constant. Okay. Now, what we have to calculate? Charge, right? So, charge across each capacitor. Charge across C1. What is C? C is equals to Q by V. Here capacitance is what? C1. Charge on capacitor C1 is what? Q1. Potential is V. From this what we want? Q. Q1 is equals to C1 into V. In the same way, charge across C2. We can directly write as Q2 is equals to what? C2 V. Next, charge across C3. Q3 is equals to C3V. Since charge is also a scalar like potential, now net charge of all the capacitors is what? Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, because charge is additive. Q equals to what, ma? C1V plus C2V plus C3V. What is common? V. So C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V. Okay, if you combine these three capacitors, we get one effective capacitance, right? Yes. Let's assume that that capacitance is Cp. If Cp is the effective capacitance of three capacitors connected in parallel, then what happens here? You can write this as what? Q is equals to Cp into V. Yes. So now from these two equations, there Q is equals to C1 into C1 plus C2 3 into V. Here Q is equals to CPV. From we can say that CPV is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3 into V. V cancel. That implies Cp is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So in parallel combination, the effective capacitance is sum of the capacitors of all capacitors. So it clearly explains that if you connect in parallel combination, the effective capacitance of the capacitor is more as compared to the individual capacitors. In series combination, the effective capacitance is less than the individual capacitors, right? So for n capacitor, for example, if you connect 4 capacitors or 5 capacitors, so I am considering that for n capacitors, the formula can be as what, ma? Cp is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus and so on Cn. Is it right? For n identical capacitors, the formula can be written as what? Cp is equals to C plus C plus C and so on plus C. That implies Cp is equals to n into C. So the effective capacitance will be more in parallel combination. Now we are going to do the last concept of this chapter called energy stored in a capacitor. So what is the energy that is stored in a capacitor? Let's see that. So let us take a capacitor. Okay. And connect it to a battery of potential V. Yes. Now the capacitor name is C. Let us assume that initially there is no charge on these two plates. Now we have to give some charge, right? Yes. So when you give to charge from one plate to another plate, we should do work done against this potential, right? Is it right? So what we can say that whatever the work is done by us against the potential is stored in the form of potential energy. So that is the concept behind this one, energy stored in a capacitor. So what we initially consider that, what we can say that the energy of a capacitor is measured by total work done in charging capacitor to a given potential. So we already said that. Now we have to charge, we have to transfer the charge, small charge against potential, that is stored in the form of what? Potential energy. Okay, so let dw be the work done in transferring a charge dq against potential v. Okay, now as we already very well know that, let us write dw is equals to what, v dash into dq, that implies q dash by c into dq. So what is q dash? Charge on plate when dq is transferred b q dash. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಡಿ ಕ್ಯೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಕಣೋ ಕ್ಯೂ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾವು ಟೋಟಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ in transferring charge. Total charge is q. Okay, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕಮ್ಮ, integration of dw is equals to integration of 0 to q dash by c into dq. As we know very well that integration of dw is w, c is constant sending outside. What is the formula I can use here? Integration of x power n into dx equals to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So here q dash whole power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 0 to q. Applying the limits, we can write as q square by 2 minus 0 by 2. What do you get? W is equals to what? Q square by 2c. This work done is stored in the form of what? This work done is stored in the form of potential energy in the capacitor. Okay, so what we done here, how to calculate the potential energy of a capacitor. What is potential energy of a capacitor? Is initially the charge on the capacitor is 0, so that's why I not mentioned the charge. Now we thought to transfer a charge of small dq to one plate, so we have to do work done. That work done is what? dw is equals to what? We are working against the potential v dash into dq. So what is q dash here? After transferring a charge of dq, the charge on plate is what? q dash. Okay, now this is a small work done in transferring a charge of dq. Now total work done to charge the plate q is given by integration of dw is equals to integration of 0 to q dash by c into dq. We are using the integration formula of integration of x power n into dx equals to what? X power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So w is equals to what? C is constant, q square by 2. Applying the limits, q square by 2 minus 0 by 2. So work done is equals to what? Q square by 2c. Now this work done is stored in the form of what? Potential energy. So there are different forms of potential energy. How? Q is equals to cv, right? Then c square v square by 2c, cc cancel, so u is equals to what? Half cv square. Or one more formula, v is equals to q by c, that we already got, right? Okay, c is equals to q by v, then half into q by v into v square, so v cancel. Finally, what are the formulas we got here? See, q square by 2c of qv, that is equals to what? Of cv square. So all these are the formulas of energy stored in a capacitor we can utilize in solving the problems. So this is very important question for 3 marks, dear students. Please note it down, and any doubts you can ask me. Clear? You can message me in the group so that I can clear your doubts. But don't neglect the links what we are sending to you. Thank you.